Hey,
Hey there, guys. My name is Rodor.
you're the guy I have to pick up, right? It's getting pretty dark, so the earlier we get in, the better, alright? You can sit in the front with me if you want.
The other day I was fishing. It was a good day for
Oh
fishing and
God.
all, but for some reason I had no luck, you know. I was only catching small fish, nothing else really. Coolest fish I saw all day was a frog near the pond. It was all green and spotty, so that was cool at least.
I didn't
But
ask.
yeah, I caught no fish pretty much, and
I
to
didn't
top it
ask.
all off, it rained at the end of the day. Isn't that just amazing?
Hey there, guys. My name is Rodor. Welcome to The Driver. This is an animation
Man, don't you just hate it when women
and a final thing. So
women, sorry. Actually, never mind.
it's meant to be
I'm just
uncomfortable.
not gonna say that.
I should have gotten the back. What is that? Car's kind of dirty, my dude.
Hey, I left some wrappers on the floor somewhere.
That's
So
a condom.
if you could just pick those up before I drop you off, because I don't
Why?
want garbage in my car. So if you could, like, pick up the wrappers and throw them out, that'd be great. I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Why? I don't think I can actually do anything. Pretty sure this is just supposed to be an uncomfortable
Wait,
animation.
the wrong turn. I'm not allowed to be next to the. I'm not allowed to be this close to a high school.
Oh. Okay. Is that why you have Mickey Mouse gloves on?
Hey, if
Yeah.
you're like addicted to smoking, then you can smoke in here if you want to. I don't mind. I really don't mind.
Why do you
So
keep
if
looking
you like
down
want
at
to
me?
light up a cigarette or weed, then you can smoke if you want. That's all I'm saying.
I'll pass. In fact, I'd like to just tuck and roll right now.
Hey,
Keep your eyes on the road.
if you're thirsty, there's some water here.
I see that.
I didn't put anything in it. Don't worry. It's got the plastic thing on it, so it's safe. It's just water. It's just water.
Uh-huh. When you have to specify, that makes me really untrusty. This guy. Don't look at me like that. Keep your damn eyes on the road.
So, do you fish? No? Yeah? You're giving me nothing to work with here, just so you know.
You don't have to talk to me. I was a Lyft driver.
Hey, do you watch South Park?
We don't have to talk. No.
I saw this episode where Cartman, he's like, yeah.
I bet you
And
keep your
then,
damn eyes on the road.
It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny.
It doesn't sound that funny. Just keep your eyes on the road, please. Ugh. I don't know if you guys heard that, but the air conditioner just kicked on and made a weird noise.
I'm gonna fall asleep.
So maybe you shouldn't be driving? I should get a new Uber.
We should we should go fishing together one day. Just you and me.
I don't know you. You don't know me.
I know a pretty cool pond I go to every time.
You're not allowed
Got
near high
lots of-
schools,
Cool fish.
so there's something wrong with you.
But yeah, we should do that someday.
No. Can you be an Uber if you're a registered offender? Is that it? Yeah. I know that was a pretty weird question for me to ask, but I've got a reason. So, in my time as a Lyft driver, I did Lyft in Nashville, Tennessee. And 2 of my fares were from the local, like, middle school, high school, and kind of like the middle of Nashville. And each time, it was honestly the most uncomfortable I've been doing Lyft. And, you know, I don't have any real horror stories. I had like one creepy guy, but this was the most uncomfortable I've been in these 2 fares because it was from the high school. It was middle schoolers. And it was just, the first time it was 3 like middle school girls. And I guess their parents didn't want them on the bus from what they said when they got in the car. Their parents didn't want them taking the bus for some reason. Apparently had something to do with some sort of time restriction. And they just wanted them to get home as quick as possible, so they had them take a Lyft. But it just seems so weird. I know what happens. And even in the movie Equalizer 2, you've got Denzel Washington's character giving a Lyft to just like some high school girls or some middle school girls to school or something like that. I know it happens. It's just, it feels really weird, really creepy when you have children getting in your car without their parents. That wasn't why I stopped doing Lyft, but I would kind of like monitor my time in that area because I didn't want to be picking up children. I did go near to the college, and I'd had a couple of high school, not high school, like college students, like, you know, 18 and up. I was fine. Anything under 18 just made me feel really uncomfortable if they're getting into the car without a parent. And it still does. I do not like the idea. It bothers me. So that's why I had the question. Can you be a rideshare driver if you have some sort of history like that? Because it happens where, you know, high schoolers, middle schoolers, anyone under the age of 18 might be getting a Lyft, or maybe their parents ordered them a Lyft to get them home. You know, like it's weird. I mean, for all I know, maybe that wasn't allowed or isn't allowed, and they just had their parents' Lyft account, and I didn't question it. When they got in the car, I drove the like 15 minutes down the road due to all the heavy traffic and everything. It was like 4 o'clock in Nashville, 4 p.m. in Nashville, so it was like really heavy traffic. Drove them down the road to their house. They got out, and then I stopped kind of driving that area around that time, which also, the traffic in that area is just terrible anyway. What is this story? I don't know. I'm just kind of padding out the video a little bit here because this was so short. But yeah, I spent about half a year doing Lyft in Nashville, Tennessee, and the most uncomfortable I've ever been is when being a Lyft driver and you just have children getting in the car. It's one thing for it to be strangers, but it feels really uncomfortable having kids get in your car unsupervised. And like, as a driver, there's nothing I can do, because if I cancel the Lyft, I get punished. I get like the points deducted from my rating because I canceled, and then it just goes to someone else. And it's like, you get punished, they still get another Lyft. So it's like, why can children do this? Are they allowed to? I assume not. I assume it's something to do with the parents either allowing them the Lyft account or something like that, but it just doesn't seem right. And, you know, again, if I canceled, I lose my points, and then I don't get as good of, like, you know, rides, or people will see that and they're like, oh, not tipping this guy that much. And, you know, I had to drive 2 hours just to get to Nashville to be able to do Lyft so I can make my money back. So yeah, I couldn't cancel that one. And also in Nashville, I had like a borderline, I don't want to say in a judging manner, but for most of you, at least if you live in the States, I don't know how it is in other countries. This man that looks like he had been panhandling. So he was kind of disheveled in like a track jacket and some jeans, He was older, gray frizzy hair. You know, he got into my car and he had me drive him to this really uncomfortable part of town. And then the whole ride, he was talking about how his niece was also a rideshare driver for Uber. And then he started talking about the horror stories and how she's had a gun pulled on her. And I'm just like, why are we talking about this, man? I'd really appreciate if we just get to where you're going and drop you off. And then I dropped him off. And it was an okay place, but right across the street was this really like rundown, spray painted, looked like where the high schoolers go to smoke a little bit. It was, it just wasn't a very comfortable ride experience. And that was probably the most uncomfortable I've been. I'll never be a rideshare driver again. That was a terrible time. And if for any of you out there who are rideshare drivers, by all means, good on you. If you haven't already, invest in a dash cam. Invest in the cameras. They are worth it. They protect you. They protect your riders. Everyone's protected with a dash cam. This video is still going. You uncomfortable yet? Why are you still here? You can leave at any time. You don't have to stay. I'm not making you stay here. You're welcome to look. You're welcome to go. I'm just kind of lamenting on my time as a Lyft driver and how awkward it was sometimes. The longest fare I ever had, if you're interested, I mean, I'll keep going. The longest fare I ever had, I picked up this one lady at a Hooters, and then I drove her 3 hours south to her apartment, which again was in a very sketchy part of the town that we were in. Like, I had to get gas because I was out of gas after driving 3 hours. I had to get gas, and it was very uncomfortable. I stopped at the first gas station I saw had a police car in it. That's how uncomfortable like this part of town felt. What you gonna do though? It was money. It was about $400-500 plus the fare. So I mean, it was a good day. It was a good day. Made a decent tip, but then like I also felt bad for the lady. She fell asleep on the way down, and then she has to go back that night. So as a driver, there's like another driver that had to drive her back and then go back, and it's a drive and a half. Which I mean, I did already. I drove 2 hours to Nashville. I drove 3 hours for that one way and then another 3 back. It was a long day. If any of you out there do rideshare, good on you. I'll never do it again. I spent 14 hours a day for 5 days a week, 14 hours a day for 6 months. I'm not doing that anymore. I do enjoy driving, but I'm not doing rideshare anymore. That was some of those people, man. I mean, out of all of that, only like 3 or 4 uncomfortable experiences. It's okay. But if you do it, good on you. Tell me about some of your horror stories or just interesting stories down in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. I've shared some of mine with you. You can share some of yours with me. I've got some other car-related stories that have nothing to do with rideshare that maybe I could share if you guys want to hear. I'd be looking for a reason to jump back into some BeamNG. That'd be fun. I miss car crashing. Talk about some more of my experiences on the road. Sound good? You interested in that? Let me know. Until next time, guys. See ya.